The practice of reflection. We've looked at how the busy teacher can use approaches for aiding reflection, and it's important therefore now to consider the process of reflection, the process of feedback on supporting reflection. Feedback can be personal or individual, our own reflection, but it also can be shared with colleagues or even the families of students or the students themselves. And so let's look at the first type of individual reflection here, individual feedback. And some critical reflection is quite deep, and therefore it can actually take some time for the individual to process the information before taking it further in terms of sharing it with others. And so some time is needed for this to take place. Shared reflection is very valuable, especially since it is with other professionals, colleagues in the school. And feedback and reflection, to be productive, can't really be all the time individual. It's always good to look for other people that you can share and reflect with. In order to facilitate this sharing of experience and sharing of feedback and reflection, there are a number of approaches. A very efficient approach would be to simply engage in dialogue and conversation, in debate with other people, other professionals, the colleagues that we work with in schools. And this debate that we can engage with other professionals is very valuable because it is a professional dialogue, but very efficient in terms of time and very easy to conduct. In terms of other people that we can reflect with, families of the students can be very useful. But we reflect in a different way here. What we're reflecting on is the experience that they have in terms of their connection with the school, the sort of values and the culture that they hold, and how this is supported by the work in the school. Their understanding of their children's interests, their needs, and their expectations and the students' abilities. This is valuable feedback for the reflective practitioner because it provides information in terms of what we're trying to do. And most importantly, we can get feedback from the parents, from the families, in terms of the students' progress, what their expectations and their interests are in this regard. Reflecting with families then is an important addition to the process of feedback, but essentially it's looking at their perspectives on things like learning rather than the professional approach that we would get from colleagues. How they add to what we do as professionals in terms of the children's learning is not to be underestimated. It is extremely valuable and helps us develop our experience with the students, our experience in the school. Opportunities for learning for teachers occur from everyday experiences in the classroom and in the school environment. And what we're always able to do, therefore, is to get feedback from the students that we work with. It's important, if we're gathering feedback from the students, is to be very careful about the questions that we're asking. We don't want to be asking too many closed questions, those which just have yes or no answers. We want to try and get reflective, interpretive information, and therefore we need to be using more open questions rather than closed questions. And by doing this, can also motivate the students as well as the teacher, and it helps develop dialogue and communication between the teacher and the students in the classroom. And therefore, it becomes a very useful technique, reflecting questions with the students in terms of gathering feedback. And this doesn't necessarily have to be an ongoing dialogue. A very good way for the reflective practitioner to get feedback could be, for example, displaying students' work on the classroom walls. This is part of the learning process for the students and becomes quite motivational for them, but it becomes a means for the reflective practitioner to actually see the progress of the work and to understand the impact that they're having on the students.